Hey up everyone, hope we're all doing well. Holy shit, did we see what happened between Yair Rodriguez and Diego Lopes at the press conference? Last night when I was watching the press conference, I wasn't really expecting much. The only thing I was really expecting was a confrontation between Bryce Mitchell and Gene Silver, and we did get a bit of that, but the main talking point is between Diego Lopes and Yair Rodriguez because it absolutely kicked off. Now this may come as a massive surprise, but I aren't fluent in Portuguese. In fact, I don't speak a fucking word of Portuguese, but this is what I've searched up and found out about the confrontation between the two. This tweet comes from Rodrigo Del Campo Gonzalez, who I believe is one of the media journalists who was in the crowd for the event. I could be wrong on that, I'm sorry if I am, but he put out this tweet saying Yair is accusing Diego and his team of beating up former UFC fighter and Yair's friend Marco Beltran. Diego then accuses Yair of threatening a female teammate of his and that he'll pay for it. In a tweet from a day before from Rodrigo said, context to American media who don't know this, one of Yair's best friends, former UFC fighter Marco Beltran, has had beef with Diego Lopes and his gym for years. From this, Yair has had beef with Diego for some time, especially after calling him out for his past UFC Mexico show. And that is the extent we've been hearing between Yair's confrontation with Diego Lopes. And what's weird to me is that he said in the tweet that they've had some beef for some time. However, just 1 month ago, they were having photos together. And I'm going to be honest, the media journalists at this event were such massive shit stirrers. I actually rate it. I love a bit of shithousery, and I feel like those journalists were doing some great shithousery and some great instigating, because one person asked Diego Lopes about Yair's comments about his Mexican heritage. I know he's not really a fan of it, but he doesn't have a problem with it. He just isn't a fan of him being like representing both Brazil and Mexico. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that was the extent of what it was about. And then Diego gave an answer and nothing happened. It was all sound, all sunshine and rainbows. And then another reporter pretty much asked the exact same question, to which Diego Lopes was like, how many losses does Yair Rodriguez have? And then that's when it all kicked off. And obviously these two aren't meeting on the weekend, which is a shame considering what's just gone on. You've got Lopes taking on Volk, and you've got Yair Rodriguez taking on UFC newcomer Pitbull. But I don't care how, we need to see this fight, and I'm going to say how we can get there. And I feel like a massive twat because just 2 months ago I made a video on Yair Rodriguez and Diego Lopes because there was rumors of them two fighting, and I was like, this makes no sense, and slated it. And now fast forward 2 months later, it's all changed. But listen, the only way that this fight makes sense is if both of them lose. If Yair Rodriguez wins and Diego Lopes loses, then maybe that can work as well. But I feel like if both men lose, this will be a perfect main event for a Mexico card. And I've seen a few people suggest, well, if Diego Lopes wins and Yair Rodriguez wins, you can do it then. But does Yair Rodriguez deserve a title shot after, you know, losing to Ortega, then coming back and beating UFC newcomer Pitbull? I don't really think that would be fair, especially when you consider that Movsar Evelev, I know a lot of you don't like him, but he just sat on the sidelines with an undefeated record, beat the likes of Aljamain Sterling, Diego Lopes, and Arnold Allen, and he just sat there. So I think he is definitely the #1 contender. So it'd be really wrong for the UFC to just be like, nah, Yair Rodriguez is going to jump past you, mate. Honestly, I just need to see this fight now. Just that one confrontation, it sold it to me. And the best thing is, I didn't understand any of it. Yes, now I know some context, but even whilst it was going on and I had no fucking clue what was happening, I was like, yes, I need to see this fight. Whenever there's some heat in there, I just need to see it, and I feel like this will create a banger as well. Just their two styles clashing will create an absolute banger of a fight. So tomorrow night, if Yair Rodriguez wins and Diego Lopes win, I don't think we'll see the fight. I don't think it would make any sense. But if Diego Lopes loses and Yair Rodriguez wins or loses, doesn't really matter. I think we could possibly see this fight, and I really can't wait. But let me know in the comments, guys, what did you make of the altercation between Lopes and Yair Rodriguez? Let me know in the comments, what would you think of a potential banger between the two? Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.